Hello and welcome. I'm Clarissa. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a while since I've done a video on astrology, at least. So I wanted to speak about something that is really going to affect us for the next couple of decades, and that is Pluto in Aquarius. And I've done a few videos on it on TikTok, and I'll put the links below just for those in the Pluto in Libra and the Pluto in Scorpio generations. But now let's talk about our collective experience with Pluto in Aquarius. And it is the time to speak about it because it starts on the 23rd of March. So just with the spring equinox, just in Aries season. And it's going to be there until 2043. 20 years. And so what is Pluto in Aquarius generation going to bring us? We've heard of the age of Aquarius, and we've heard, times are changing into a more technological experience. This is definitely going to be the case. So let's just talk about some of the things that have been happening. I spoke about before, that's getting us ready for Pluto in Aquarius, has been getting us ready. The first is Uranus in Taurus, because again, this is a very similar energy where it's Taurus, the opposite sign of Scorpio, which is Pluto's the ruler. And this brings about our desires. So we have seen with Uranus in Taurus that people's desires, as much as it gets eccentric, is coming to the surface. And we have seen that everybody wants their desire to be spoken for, in a very radical, evolutionary, collective way, with Uranus. So we have felt that everybody has had this need to make their desire important. And this has gone to the extreme. There are definitely, groups, different subcultures that are on the more extreme level that have also wanted to be accepted into the main consciousness conversations. And then we've seen the rise of unique beauty, because obviously Taurus is about beauty. Venus rules Taurus. So we have this conversation about what is beauty, and it has completely changed the concept of the beauty standards. It is more about, as eccentric you can look, or if you look different in any way, or even really it's just a representation of what society really is. But the more unique is become, the more beautiful. So if he was a person that had, a full face of freckles, this would have been rejected before. Now it's seen as beautiful. Uniqueness is beautiful. So these are some of the things that have been getting us ready for Pluto in Aquarius. And so where have we been? We've been in Pluto in Capricorn for a good while. And Capricorn is obviously about structure. It's about order. It's about control. It is financial structures as well. It's the patriarchy. Pluto in Capricorn has made things very much about the power, very much about seeing vulnerability in power, very much about reassessing our security. So we did see two financial breakdowns within the Pluto in Capricorn transit, and we also saw the lockdown. So at this very moment that I'm speaking, we are at 29 degrees Capricorn, which is the very last degree of Capricorn. So Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, and this will mean that we are coming to the end of the very structural control that has been implemented, and now we're moving into the radical. So it's gone from one orderly version to now the eccentric, eclectic, radical, revolutionary, all the R's. We're going into this now for the next 20 years. When we enter into this, obviously there is going to be the residual of the Pluto and Capricorn energy. So there is almost going to be this tussle to remain in control. So we will see this from some of the higher structures, the higher authorities in society that govern society. We will see them having their almost last ditch at implementing some kind of rule and control over the collective, or as it's Pluto, the subconscious. So this will move now into the technology. So the need to control won't change. It will go into the more subconscious, but it will be through Aquarius channels. So we're talking collective mindset, we're talking subcultures, we're talking technology, we're talking future ideas. So this is where the subconscious will be focusing on. Pluto is about desire, is about our primal desires. So our primal desires will be elevated through Aquarian traits. So this is where we can relate to Uranus and Taurus being about our desires and our sensuality through technology. What we see is beautiful, and having the ability to see it via technology. So now with Pluto in Pluto in Aquarius, we're going to see an even deeper version of this, because we're dealing with Pluto, which is essentially Scorpio, is the opposite sign to Taurus. And this is layers and layers. This is the subconscious. This is dark before light. Before there was light, there's always been dark, and the dark governs more than light. So we think about it in the unseen, the subconscious knowing of, again, it's going to be collective consciousness. What we're seeing already is what we would consider our deepest fears regarding technology coming up. The level of, people thinking that AI is going to take over, and people being really frightened of things like deep fake, and essentially our fears are coming up to the surface. So we can then challenge those fears. Pluto is the energy that lies underneath, and it's the energy that shakes underneath. So it creates this, this feeling. I suppose it's anxiety in a way. If we think about in human emotions, we would see it as an anxiety until it comes to the forefront and becomes takes precedent. It makes us pay attention, and this is essentially what Pluto does, very slowly, and brings everything up to the surface. So of course it's Aquarius, it's a very intelligent energy. So we mix this intelligence with a level of fear, or a level of subconscious knowing. It's not always necessarily fear, but fear will definitely be one of the things that come up. But it will also be a deep knowing about human existence, human understanding. Some things will become naturally knowing to us, where we've come from, why things happen, where things are going. Will be connected to a deeper knowing. So subcultural groups will be coming up. People that have been speaking in the dark will be coming up to be heard. All the societal pains and pain points, societal conversations that have been in the dark for a very long time because of Capricorn and Pluto and Capricorn created a very much a control over these things. Now that thought, we're going into air energy now. Thoughts will not be able to be stopped. In fact, they will carry some things with them. They will carry deep emotions with them. So some radical groups, subcultures, as eccentric as you can go, will be coming up to have conversations. So a lot of people who are in these groups or in these collective mindsets already been speaking about these things for the last 20 years. For them, it's, oh, finally, everybody knows. What we've been considering as woke is no way even near what we're going to be experiencing in the next 20 years. We've been gathering up this information online, collecting this information, and all the information that has been hidden will come to the surface. We will definitely see elements of the dark web coming into the normal web will be, a lot of people will have more access. You know, some things will be more accepted because, again, it's to be able to deal with the fear of it. We are going to we have to confront it, and some things will be normalized. We'll still have Uranus in Taurus, so some things will be normalized, some things will be given value, and some things will be recognized as essential because it solved pain points that were once disregarded, now have become important and taking precedence. So lots to deal with, really. We're definitely going to see the rise of AI and its connection to our sensuality, not just information, but connected to our emotional responses. And this will be even more delved into. At the moment, we're still at the surface level. So with Pluto, it goes into the subconscious. So there will be an element of how does AI affect our consciousness, and it will be challenged until it becomes normalized, because that is what happens. And then we also will see the flaws. We will see the flaws in some of the futuristic processes. We will see inventions that we would have never thought of before. You know, even deeper. We're just at the precipice of how deep technology is going to go, and going to take us into essentially another world, because it's, you know, technology is going to create subcultures as well. There will be radicalism. There will be people pushing back and fighting against the move, what is considered forward for some people. It's going to be a really interesting time. It's just like anything. We are not going to see the full results until our grandkids. You know, we're always living in the results of what our grandparents have done. And for us, we won't know, you know, the positives and negatives truly until we get into Pluto in Pisces, and when the whole energy will completely change. That's what I have for you guys today. Just thinking, really. It started with a conversation with my friend, and I was like, you know, I should do a video on this. I really need to do a video. So some things, you know, everything happens for a reason. So here I am. Thank you guys so much for being here, and take care. Bye.